everyone, and welcome to another edition of Tech Talk.
Welcome back, everyone.
Today we're going to be talking about circuit breakers. Now, Marius, I have to say that when it comes to telling the difference between a circuit breaker, an isolator, earth leakage, I'm completely lost. Can you help clear that up for me? What is the difference between the three?
Yes, certainly, Sean. Before I explain that, I would like to just go one step back. Historically, we used to use fuses, and there's some old homes out there that still have those fuses. But it's a problem. Once it blows, it's disconnected, and if you don't have the correct fuse, you're sitting disconnected with your electricity. So the circuit breaker, to come back to your question, to start off with, the circuit breaker is essentially designed to be able to be reset.
Yeah.
And it has two primary functions.
Okay.
The first function is to protect the circuit from overload.
Right.
Which, if you've got too many appliances plugged in, that wire on the inside can only take so much heat and amps going through it. So once it reaches the threshold of the wiring that is allowed to take so much current, it will disconnect automatically. The second portion of the protection is short circuit.
Yeah.
So if two wires touch each other, maybe it gets broken and two wires touch each other, and there's an instantaneous current flow that is a short circuit, the magnetic side of the circuit breaker will then trip the circuit breaker immediately, making your installation safe. Those are the primary functions of a circuit breaker.
Okay, so now moving on to an isolator, what is that?
An isolator's function is very simple. It just disconnects. It's a switch. So it disconnects your power.
Yeah.
There's no tripping function, and you can have the isolator, for example, at your distribution board to isolate the entire distribution board.
Yeah.
There are other isolators throughout your home. You will find them at your geyser, your pool pump, gate motor, and as well as your stove, you'll have an isolator there.
Ah, okay, so that makes sense. When I had my stove installed recently, a new one, I was able to have electricity throughout the house while they were busy doing the installation. So they obviously just switched it off there.
That's correct, because now you can make the installation safe right there with the isolator, and is able to do the work without switching your main power.
And that stove isolator switch that's next to your oven and your stove there, is that a good idea to switch off?
Imagine you haven't turned the heating knob all the way down. Always switch it off. It's just safer to do so, because it's a heating appliance. Better to switch it off.
Okay. Earth leakage.
Now this is a interesting little device. It's designed to protect human and animal life.
Yeah.
We in South Africa, you have to have an earth leakage on your socket outlets. Let me give you an example of what an earth leakage does. Its primary function is to detect unwanted current leaking to your earth or your neutral. For example, you could be doing washing in a top loader washing machine. You've got a blanket, you're busy pushing this blanket into the water there, and you are not aware that inside the washing machine there's a live wire about to touch the metal casing of the washing machine. Now, as soon as that live wire touches that metal casing, you're at risk of serious electrical shock. So what the earth leakage does is, before 30 milliamps is achieved, it automatically disconnects the power from the appliance, protecting you from serious electric shock.
Now, that pretty much explains everything, but can I walk into my local DIY and just pick up any circuit breaker? I mean, if I need to replace a circuit breaker,
Sean, you can't just replace it with any circuit breaker. First of all, you need to make sure that whatever circuit breaker you buy now, quality is important, because it is a safety device. It's going to protect your home and your installation. You need to buy something that's really quality. Now, Legrand prides himself by a high quality product.
Yes.
These things are vigorously tested, and we adhere to all the requirements as set out by our South African Code of Standards. And these products also have an LOA and you can buy them at any DIY shop. Just make sure that you take the correct amp rating that is written on the product and replace it with the same amp rating of
That's
the
this little number here.
That's it. I will go into a little bit more detail in the next clip on the functionality and features of circuit breakers.
Okay, well, you'll have to join us for the next segment then to find out more about that. We look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks for joining us today. Take care, guys.
Cheers. See you soon.